Joined here by Gary Quill. We are going to talk about the four late stakes on Maryland Million Day with John Piazzik in a subsequent video, but I want to get Gary on to talk about the four early stakes. Maryland Million is made up of 8 stakes plus 4 starter events. The early stakes are race 2, the Maryland Million Turf Sprint, race 4, the Turf, race 5, the Lassie, and race 7, the Distaff. And Gary, let's dive right in with one of your two sort of spotlight horses here. That's going to be in the Maryland Million Turf Race 4. This is a mile and an eighth on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. And you're going to give a look at Jack's Legend, and we'll show a little video of Jack's Legend here.
Yeah, Jack's Legend. I chose him for multiple reasons. Here's a horse that has had a layoff for quite some time, came back, ran well, and I think more distance is the better. And he comes from a family who has participated and has won Maryland Million races. In fact, his full brother, Talk Show Man, won this particular race, the Maryland Million Turf in 2014. And another full brother, Just Jack, actually ran in the Classic and ran third. He had also had another full sibling, Slick William, who I happen to be part owner in, but he was the least talented of the four, let's say. But I think Just Jack, being a 5-year-old, lightly raced, the distance is going to be good to him. And I just think he's an improving horse. You know, this is his fourth race off of that long layoff, and he just keeps improving with the distance. And I just think he's a sneaky horse, and I believe you should get a decent price, at least not favoritism on the 6, Just Jack.
He was third beat a length in this race 2 years ago. In that video we just saw, as you saw, he was hung out in the parking lot all the way around. So came back to win an allowance last time out. Looks to be moving in the right direction. Gary's key horse there, Jack's Legend, in the fourth race. On to the fifth, Maryland Million Lassie. These are 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. Favorite here is probably going to be the 10-horse Superstitious for Robbie Bales. That's not going to be your key horse, though, Gary. Yours is going to be the 6 Rerun Table.
Yeah, not at all. Rerun Table, you and I personally saw him run at the Big T this summer, and he was in against a Brittany Russell horse who was coming off a second place finish in the $35,000 maiden claimer up at Saratoga. So that horse got the majority of money. It was a very quick horse, took the lead, looked like it was going to win for fun. And here comes Rerun Table late to the scene to beat Brittany's horse by a head. I just think the more distance, which is 6 furlongs off of the 4 furlongs, is going to benefit this horse. He's going to be a sneaky horse because who picks Timonium winners on Maryland Million Day? And the other angle that I'm seeing here is you look at Brittany Russell has a horse in here, the 5 Share Success. Toledo rode that horse last time in Gate the Wire, maiden win, debut win. Toledo finds himself on what we think will be the morning line favorite, the 10, Superstitious. And lo and behold, look who rode Superstitious in all 3 of his starts. JG Torrealba. And where does he land? On my key horse, the 6 Rerun Table. So that's just an added angle that I think Rerun Table is going to be a live horse at, I think, a decent price.
This is a really nice debut effort, Gary. I thought, you don't always see tons of 2-year-olds passing horses, and especially passing horses going 4 furlongs. And
Yes.
this horse, had the chance to get discouraged if she wanted to and run an okay second, and she didn't. And she kept coming and ran that horse down late. And so definitely a nice debut outing there for the John Salzman Jr. trainee for Bird and Grady LLC. They had good success from time to time over the years, so maybe they'll be back in the Maryland Million winner circle here with Rerun Table. All right, Gary, let's put up your selections for all four stakes now and talk us through the turf sprint. This one, I think, gonna run through the three horse Witty, the Lizzie Merriman horse.
Yeah, you would think. And the way I handicap this race, it's funny. You think sprint, you think speed. And I went through here, and there isn't a lot of early speed in here. And that's what Whitty does not have, and that's what he relies on. And if you look back at on May 17th, was May 17th Preakness Day, or was that Black Eyed Susan Day
I think it
this
was
year? I
Preakness Day.
forget.
Yeah.
It was Preakness Day. He ran in the turf sprint, and I remember that like it was yesterday. There was nothing but speed in that race, and he was a gift at 5-2, coming from way off the pace. The only question was he going to be able to get up at 5 furlongs? And he did very easily. And that was because there was a lot of speed. Conversely, in this race, I don't see a lot of speed. So I think the horse that has the advantage is the 8 horse. When I get to heaven, he'll be the speed of the speed.
We just talked about the turf and that you land on Jack's Legend. You want to say anything else about any of your selections here? You go 6, 7, 10, and 8.
The 7 horse being trained by New York based or who knows where based trainer Miguel Clement. Um, has run, has frequent flyer miles, has run at 8 different tracks and 11 starts, adds the blinkers, and I think probably has the class edge in here.
In the Lassie 6, 10, 3, and 8 for you. We talked about rerun table. We actually talked about most of these. Superstitious, Torrealba rode him, lands on your top selection. Toledo on Superstitious. The three Noble Status for Hammy Smith. Brasino up. This was a winner at first asking and maiden claiming. Company. I talked to one of the trainers the other day. He said, "Look, nobody knows what they have at this point with 2-year-olds." So, is that
Right.
some of what's in your head there using noble
Well,
status?
yeah, well, what's in my head with noble status? I'm glad you asked the reason why, because I'm pretty sure he'll be double digits, morning line, probably 10, 12 to 1
I
easily.
think, yeah.
I like with these young horses, I like to look at the mid-race fractions or the final fractions. And comparably, even though he ran in a $25,000 maiden claimer, the final time, he ran in 12 flat by my amateur calculations. He was third by 2 and he wound up winning by 4. He actually ran a faster final time than comparatively like Shared Success, which ran probably a 13 flat. So I kind of look at it that way. Now maybe Shared Success wasn't all out, because
Sure.
he was on top by 4.5.
Right. It's drawing away.
But the short comment says driving, so maybe Toledo was still asking. So that's my crazy way of thinking why Noble Success could probably be in the mix at a big price.
All right. The old come home time comes home fast. Pretty good debut for noble status. Finally, the Maryland Million Distaff 7/8 for fillies and mares. It's the one race where the defending champ returns, and that is going to be the 12 horse Foxy Jr. You're going 4, 7, 1, and 12 here. You're going Spencerian off the bench.
Yeah, Spencerian was the failed favorite last year to Foxy Jr. And I just think uh, there's obviously something went amiss in his last race back in April. He's been off since then. He's training well, and he does well at this 7 furlong distance. And I just think with Jorge Hernandez, who's having a really bang up year at 20% this year, winners. I just gave him the nod over the defending champ, Foxy.
All right, that's going to do it for Gary Quill. He gives us his stake selections, the early stakes on Maryland Million Day. 8 stakes in all, 4 of them in the first 7 races. We'll talk with John Piazzik in a subsequent video on the latter 4 stakes that are all part of the late pick 5. Gary, good luck on Maryland Million Day.
Thanks, Frank.